Hey everybody, it's another funky find, and today we are going to talk about some of my favorite pieces of winter art. So we're going to go through them a little bit more in detail, but the interesting, cool thing about these pieces are these are prints from what is known as Currier Ives. So in 1830, there was a 15-year-old boy, okay, so a long time ago, there was a 15-year-old boy who began to work at what was a new technology. It was called a lithography shop. So this is a kind of a way to print art that they didn't, you could only see a print if you printed it. They didn't have a copy machine to just buzz off people's art. So this was a way that they discovered to use oily, greasy paints and press them with a wet press, and the water and the oil didn't mix, so the ink would therefore transfer onto the material. And it just kind of became the new sensation, okay? So he was 15 years old, learned how to do this, and it wasn't until a little bit later in 1857 when he started being a bookkeeper for the other half of this party, Ives. His name was Jim Ives. So in about 1857, they opened up this business, and this, 15-year-old apprenticeship really thrust him into being one of the most well-known American lithographers, really, of our time. And his prints are absolutely beautiful. Now, okay, the prints are from different artists. He simply copied them and preserved them, okay? And a lot of times, these were sold like in carts in the street, like instead of newspapers. So you could buy, there were 3 standard sizes. So that's one way to know if you have, there's been millions of reprints of these, by the way. So if you have an authentic Currier Ives, those are worth quite a bit of money, but there were 3 sizes. So this is how you know if you have a real one. The smallest size was 8 by 12.5, which is about what these appear to be. There was also 11 by 15, and then the biggest one was 18 by 27. Another way to tell is, so he was famous for having an assembly line of women immigrants who would hand color the prints. So he would, he employed a lot of people, but another way that you can tell is if the ink goes outside the lines. So this is probably a very old reproduction, probably early 1900s reproduction. So eventually he retired in 1880 and died in 1888, Nathaniel Currier. I don't even know if I told you his name, but his name is Nathaniel Currier, the 15-year-old apprentice who started Currier Ives. So he passed away at the age of 75, which is quite a long time, quite an old age back then. He had one wife. She died after 3 years, and they had 1 child together. So the 2 prints I want to talk about really quick. This is A Home in the Wilderness. It's a beautiful, beautiful print. It's actually from the year 1870. This was originally drawn up in 1870, and this is 5 years, okay, after the Civil War. So everybody's kind of moving to the countryside and trying to get some independence. You got your chickens, you got your wood pile for the winter, you got somebody with a horse there so you can go get your hardtack at the store if you need it. Definitely keep the smoke, home fires burning there, okay? Keep the smoke in the chimney. This is another one of my favorites, maple sugaring. This was originally a print from 1856, and it is depicting kind of the process of taking sap from, trees and making maple syrup, baking it down, boiling the liquid all night to get it, well, all night and all day and all night and all day to get it down to syrup. So this is the whole clan's involved. Again, you have your chimney going, snow's on the ground, everybody's warm here. A big thing that was noted about this picture is it's really also important because they were trying to transition everything to maple and maple sugar from the traditionally grown sugar cane that was mostly fueled by the slave trade and slave labor. So this is another, huge independence, a step towards a sugary treat in the middle of winter. So I hope you guys can get yourself a sugary treat, and we will see you soon, okay?